Start with some breaking news in Brooksville. Police warning people there to lock their doors, close the window, stay inside. We're told at least 3 people have been shot there. News Channel 8's Chip Wasowski is joining us live from the scene. This is in the Hill and Dale area. Chip, tell us what you know.
Well, Keith, this is a very fluid situation. We just heard from Sheriff Al Nienhuis here. We're located right off of Cami Street in Brooksville. It's actually in between the city of Brooksville and I-75, just to the north of 50. We've got an active shooter scenario out here. Basically, SWAT is here. Deputies are combing the area looking for this gunman. As you said, 3 people were shot in a home not far from here on Azure Street. I'm not sure whether it's Azure Street or Court, but on Azure, 3 people were shot there. The sheriff isn't going into details as to what the condition of those folks are. The shooter left that home and is somewhere in this neighborhood. That's why the sheriff is urging people to be alert, lock their doors, lock their windows, be aware, and if they notice anything out of the ordinary, to call the sheriff's office. Deputies believe that they have the shooter in somewhere in a home that possibly was not occupied. They believe they have that shooter cornered in there, but they're not exactly sure. Again, that's why they're urging folks to call the sheriff's office if they notice anything unusual in this area. There was also another shooting in Brooksville about an hour before this one came in. The sheriff didn't have many details about that one, other than the fact that 1 person was injured in that shooting. They don't know if it's connected at this point. We heard from the sheriff just a few moments ago.
My preliminary reports are we have 3 victims. I'm not going to release the status of those victims yet, but obviously we have a very serious and very dynamic scene going on here. So as soon as we have more information, we'll be happy to release it.
Again, like you heard the sheriff say, it's a very fluid situation. They believe that they have the shooter in a house, possibly an abandoned house, but they're not 100% sure, so that's why they're asking folks to be aware, call in anything that sounds unusual. But again, just to recap, 3 people shot in a home, not releasing their identities nor their conditions. Obviously, this is a very fluid situation, developing story. We'll have an update later here on News Channel 8 and on WFLA.com and the WFLA app.
All right, Chip, just as soon as you hear any more, just pass it along, and we'll pass it along to our viewers as well. A lot going on there in Brooksville. Thank you, Chip Wasowski, reporting live.